1. Keith Urban bagged Nicole Kidman. Keith Urban is probably the most successful Australian country singer of his generation, and possibly ever, but that success really pales in comparison to the success of world-renowned actress Nicole Kidman. Nicole Kidman found her way onto the A-list through her marriage to film superstar Tom Cruise. However, she stayed on that list by being one of the most consistently performing actors in film and television for her decades-long career. Nicole has recently hit another high with the success of the award-winning HBO series Big Little Lies, and considering her body of work in the past few years, it seems safe to assume that she won't be leaving the public consciousness anytime soon. Her relationship with Urban seems like a massive step up from her seemingly endless divorce drama with Tom Cruise, though, and their marriage and family life seems incredibly stable for a Hollywood relationship. 2. Danny Moder bagged Julia Roberts. Honestly, calling Danny Moder even D-list is being beyond generous. Before hooking up with Julia Roberts, Moder was a cameraman, and since getting together with Julia, his main occupation seems to be being Julia Roberts' husband, with some cinematography credits thrown in there. And by all accounts their marriage may be a very happy one. I mean, it'd have to be at least halfway decent to endure for 15 years and 3 children, but their origin story is more than a little sketchy. The couple met on the set of Julia's forgettable film The Mexican, while Moder was still married to his first wife Vera. Moder decided to divorce his wife so that he could marry Julia, but apparently Vera wasn't very quick to roll over and give the new couple what they wanted, or at least it wasn't quick enough for Miss Roberts. Julia started making some very public digs at Vera for holding up the divorce, which seems pretty ballsy considering that she was the side chick in this scenario. 3. Joe Manganiello bagged Sofia Vergara. Actor Joe Manganiello first really made a name for himself when he began to play Werewolf Alcide on True Blood, but when you're married to the highest paid actress in television, it's pretty hard to compete. The stunning Colombian actress Sofia Vergara showed off her comedic chops when she started as Gloria Delgado Pritchett on Modern Family, and her character and performance became so popular that Vergara was nominated for dozens of acting awards and earning over $40 million in her salary and endorsement deals. Manganiello might not be as successful as Vergara, after all, most people aren't as successful as she is, but he's certainly a massive upgrade from Vergara's previous fiancé Nick Loeb. Their relationship was reportedly troubled long before they broke it off, but once Sofia had moved on, Loeb seemed to have a bit of a fatal attraction moment. He sued the actress for the rights to the embryos they had created while together and seemed to want to have some other woman birth the children of himself and his ex. So the apparently sane Manganiello is definitely a step up. 4. Ayesha Curry bagged Steph Curry. The Curry family is probably the cutest squad in professional sports, and the relationship between Steph and Ayesha seems to be pretty strong, but since Stephen's spectacular performance with the Golden State Warriors, he has become one of the most visible superstar athletes in sports. Ayesha has done well for herself too. Along with some acting and modeling gigs, she has found some pretty significant success as a professional food writer/TV presenter, but comparatively speaking her husband is pretty clearly in a league of his own. But one massive thumbs up for this couple stems from the fact that they've known each other since they were teenagers and before they were famous and successful, so they can at least rest easy knowing that they both actually love each other for who they are. Steph might be on the A-end list now, but Ayesha bagged him when he was a Z-lister just hoping to make it big in basketball. 5. Justin Theroux bagged Jennifer Aniston. Out of all of the Friends alums, Jennifer Aniston has probably been the most visible member of the cast since the show ended, and the fact that she was even on Friends automatically makes her TV royalty, and presumably, crazy rich. Aniston was also previously married to superstar Brad Pitt, which you'd assume would be a pretty tough act to follow. But after their divorce and a few failed relationships, Jennifer finally hooked up with actor and writer Justin Theroux. Justin's success level was nowhere near Jen's, and probably never will be, but he was pretty well known in the art film circuit for his work with David Lynch and has gone on to bigger successes with projects like his HBO show The Leftovers. His writing resume was no joke either. His credits include writing films like Iron Man 2 and Tropic Thunder. So he might have scored someone out of his league when he married Jen, but he's a pretty decent catch in his own right. 6. Mark Anthony bagged Jennifer Lopez. Jennifer Lopez is one of those rare superstar A-listers who has succeeded at literally everything she has ever done, and boy, has she done everything. Movies, television, music, fashion, fragrance, pretty much anything any celebrity has ever done Jennifer has done too, and she always seems to succeed at it. Combine that with her inhuman good looks and bizarre ability to just never age, and you really have one of the greatest catches imaginable. But Jennifer is still Jenny from the block at heart, and her relatively down-to-earth sensibilities seem to be reflected in her habit of dating way down. Jennifer has no aversion to dating or even marrying a total regular Joe, so her marriage to moderately successful singer Mark Anthony isn't too much of a shock. But still, someone as mediocre as Anthony made an enormous score when he bagged Jennifer Lopez, and although the pair eventually divorced, they apparently still get along well enough that they teamed up to create a charity for Puerto Rico's hurricane relief. 7. Jay-Z bagged Beyoncé. Okay, so calling Jay-Z a D-lister might be a bit of an exaggeration, but I still think that this relationship is one of the most noticeable chasms in a Hollywood relationship, because Jay-Z is a successful rapper and Beyoncé is Beyoncé. Plus Jay gets a serious demerit as a significant other because of his apparent history of cheating. Who would cheat on Beyoncé? The pair seems to have worked through their relationship problems and decided to stay together, but I think Beyoncé could pretty obviously do better, and probably deserves better. Jay seems to have put his rap career on the back burner and focused more on his business endeavors in the past few years, but Beyoncé's success level is higher than ever since her surprise release of the album Lemonade, and her career certainly shows no signs of slowing down anytime soon. It's possible that this pairing is just true love, but I think Jay should consider himself incredibly lucky to have ever bagged Beyoncé in the first place, let alone getting her to stick around after cheating on her. 8. Blake Lively bagged Ryan Reynolds. When Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds initially got together, both actors seemed to be comfortably seated on the B-list. Their film collaboration The Green Lantern was probably a project that both actors wanted to push them up to the A-list, but the movie bombed hard enough that it forced DC Comics to completely re-evaluate its film franchise strategy. The movie wasn't entirely pointless, though. Blake and Ryan apparently hit it off, and even though Reynolds was married to Scarlett Johansson at the time, that marriage ended shortly after they met and their relationship began almost immediately. But as time has gone on, Ryan's profile has gone way up while Blake's has kind of petered out. With the success of Deadpool, it seems like Reynolds finally had the hit film franchise he's been trying to launch for years, while Blake's most notable recent work was the C-list horror film The Shallows. 9. Travis Scott bagged Kylie Jenner. Out of the entire Kardashian/Jenner clan, Kylie has probably gotten the most fame out of the least work. I mean, aside from her makeup line and appearances on her family's shows, she doesn't seem to do anything particularly exceptional, but despite that, she is undeniably one of the most visible celebrities in the entertainment industry today. Kylie is only 20 years old, so it's not like having your own makeup brand by that age is slacking or something, but because she's so young, that also means that she has had relatively few public relationships. However, when it comes to her relationships, it seems like Kylie has a preference for D-list rappers. Travis Scott is definitely a huge improvement over talentless creeper Tyga, but Travis seems to have it made in the shade since he and Kylie apparently conceived a child a few months into their relationship. So whether either of them like it or not, this D-lister is permanently tied to this A-lister. 10. Orlando Bloom bagged Katy. In the early aughts, Orlando Bloom seemed poised to become the next superstar heartthrob because of his string of blockbuster hits like Pirates of the Caribbean and Lord of the Rings trilogy, but it was a momentum that Bloom couldn't really hold onto for long. He ultimately faded to an actor who consistently works but isn't really on the Hollywood radar anymore. But he apparently has a gift for dating up. He was previously married to Victoria's Secret supermodel Miranda Kerr, and after the end of that relationship he hooked up with superstar singer Katy Perry. Most people in the entertainment industry will probably never reach the success level of Katy Perry, which is probably why she also seems to have a habit of dating down, but her previous relationships seem to at least be with other people in the entertainment industry who were actually doing something besides being her boyfriend. 11. Portia de Rossi bagged Ellen DeGeneres. In the grand scheme of things, Portia de Rossi has done very well for herself. She has been a series regular on two really successful TV shows, Ally McBeal and Arrested Development, which is more than most professional actors can say for their careers. However, that success seems pretty in comparison to her wife and media mogul Ellen DeGeneres, who has had two successful shows that were titled after herself as well as a decades-long stand-up comic career. It apparently took Portia a while to get up the courage to even tell Ellen about her feelings for her, and it took even longer for her to be fully comfortable being openly gay, but once this pair took the plunge they never looked back. When same-sex marriage was legalized in 2008, Ellen and Portia tied the knot, and have been happily married for the last 9 years. 12. Kris Humphries bagged Kim Kardashian. Kris Humphries has been doing all right for himself since his professional basketball career began in 2006, but honestly, most people who weren't avid basketball fans didn't even know his name until he snagged media princess Kim Kardashian. But of course, as soon as they started dating, Humphries' media profile went through the roof. The pair started dating in October of 2010 and Humphries proposed less than a year later, and the couple got married in a lavish sponsored wedding just 3 months after that. But just 72 days later, Kardashian decided the whole debacle was a mistake and wanted a divorce. Humphries was extremely displeased and accused Kardashian of using him for publicity, despite the fact that she was crazy famous and most people didn't know who he was before their relationship. Kris was bitter enough that he dragged out their divorce as long as he possibly could. Kim was actually pregnant with Northwest by the time the divorce was actually finalized, but once it was all over, Humphries seemed to avoid the spotlight while Kim's profile has only gotten higher.